So today we'll be talking about something extremely interesting, because for every conversation we've had just before this shoot, everyone had a story to tell. One of us, whose name I will not mentioned that they almost dated someone until when they asked them for 10K someday.
What was it?
They were like, no, it wasn't you, partner. No. But then also when I realized that today we had to talk about money and relationships, I remembered a great man, David. I just learned that Davido's full name is David Adeleke. We all know Davido, right? Mm-hmm. Recently, his new song, Assurance, talks about, verse 2 has, love is sweet. When money enter love, love is sweeter. And I just thought, no one wants to be dating a person who is broke, but also no one wants to be dating a person who does not want to share with them whatever they have. And them, generally share. Yeah. But then, most of the times, I'm panicking about it because a lot of women have experienced relationships where they're financing the whole relationship. I know relationship is not like a project where you're implementing and putting in money, but they've had to deal with men where they're the ones injecting money in the whole relationship. And this is not me saying that the man should be the only person injecting money into a relationship to work, because like Davido told us, love is only sweeter when you what? When you have money. When you have money, you get. So our friend of 10K, first of all, has played. Why was this man asking for 10K?
It's not me.
It's not any of you.
I think this is such an important conversation because for me, I think I'm really traditional, and I just don't understand why. Okay, until like talking about this came up, I don't understand why the subject of finances should be even spoken about. Because my take on things is that if I'm being vibed, then the person who's vibing me has to take care of everything. If I'm being asked out, and the person who asked me out has to take care of wherever they are taking me. I don't understand why I have to be the one to pull out. No, and then the things over here splitting the bill.
So what does your money do? Like if you're talking about in the context of someone is pursuing you, but now we are talking about the relationship is now happening. Both of you are working. Do you still expect this person who pursued you or your partner to be the one that covers the bills?
I think how we have to talk about this money in finances has to be a graduation of where you in the relationship. If you are in the pursuing stage, the pursuer
should be able to invest in this project,
the thing which they
to
want.
make sure this flower at the end of the day is
and so the person who's being pursued is still in like the decision. They're still trying to make up their minds and things like that. So I think the point when you reach partnership before marriage, but like you've decided, oh, I like this person likes me. Now I think they're maybe buying gifts. You can take each other out. It doesn't have to be, because now it has moved away from being the pursuer.
So now it can be a shared role.
A shared role.
Are
you sure, Yvonne? I feel like you'd be, and this just because this is killing me because of that 10K story. But I agree that it should be a graduation from just going to dates to we've just dated for 3-5 months to we've been dating for 3 years to we have moved in with to each other's houses or to each other's, and now we are getting married. Yeah, I read a story. It was actually early this year, of a chick who financed the whole Kwanjula period, because the whole Kwanjula process that's the traditional wedding, because the guy first of all mentioned that he was not financially stable at that moment, so he could not afford it. She could afford it, so she decided to buy the gifts that they were bringing for her parents.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the marriage, I want to assume that they are happy because they look happy, even after the chick injected money into the relationship. Okay. Yeah. But also, I don't know, I feel like it should be that the partner that can afford to do what they can do should do that in the relationship.
But here is the thing. If you're looking at day to day, like, okay, Kwanjula is like a whole other thing, yeah? But I'm talking about...
Would you finance your own
could never be
traditional
me.
wedding?
Could never be me.
Okay. Wedding?
No.
Nothing.
Assuming I want a wedding in the first place. But that's a conversation for another day. I'm talking about like everyday stuff, yeah? My partner may be earning more than I am, yeah? And maybe I'm earning a bit, like a little less than they are. What is my contribution to the money pool? Yeah, that's what I want us to talk about. Like, also at what point then, if you're talking about it as a graduation thing, you've dated for 2 months, 3 months, at what point do we start talking about money? I don't want to waste my time with someone who is not good at spending, at saving, yeah, like I'm going to find out you're terrible at saving after I've dated you for 2 years. Yeah, that's time wasting. Like, we need to talk about it now. Like, how do you handle your money? Or sometimes you can see how people spend and save their money without even telling you.
I like that we're not even delving into whether money is important in a relationship or not, because
it is.
I have a general feeling that we all agree that it is.
It is.
Love is only sweeter when there is
yeah.
Pizza,
I don't know. No. I don't know. I think it enables things. It definitely enables. It's a tool that you can, money is a tool that you can use to make people happy, but you can be happy even if you don't have. However,
I disagree.
Okay, but I also
disagree that it enables?
No, that you can be without money. Being broke is the worst thing that can happen to any human being. Now, having
it's just how you think about it.
I get sick when
in
I
the
don't
same
have
space.
money.
I was telling people, I get that cold when I'm broke. Kasana is out, the sun is bright, but you're feeling a little fever when you're broke. Now imagine an individual that you're sharing a certain degree of space, of your space with, being in that same position that you are. I'm not saying that you should be poor and only, but no, I think that's what I'm saying. Look out for people who have more money than you do.
So I want to ask a question. I'm assuming at some point we'll all be in some kind of relationship, whether you're married or whatnot. Yeah. Would you, how should I put it? Would you share
my money with my partner?
Like joint account? Yeah, you put some money together. This is our pool. This is how much I earn. This is how much we earn. This is what we can do with it.
I don't think I'd share. I don't think I'd have a joint account with my partner at any point in my life. I don't know whether it's selfish or whatever, but I really want to earn my money and spend it a certain way. So what I am interested in is us sitting and agreeing that we're going to do A, B, C, D, and G. Then we agree we're going to do A together, C together, D together. B is my business, and how I spend my money around that is my business, because that's my money. I panic at the fact that someone else has to control how my money is.
Why would you be in a relationship with them
with someone you can't trust with your money?
Guys, my money is my money.
Did you read Benji's thread on Twitter a few weeks ago
about the person that
he met?
It has become very many people.
It made a lot of sense when I read it, and I really pondered about it for a very long time, about the fact that Indian families will have one account, the husband, the children who are working, and whatever, so the in-laws, so you all hold each other accountable.
Yes.
What I think I'd be comfortable with doing is, depending on how much money that I have, my little money, would have a joint account, and then I'd have my own side account. Because mostly also people can't be trusted. As in, I don't care if you're my husband or not.
You can't trust your partner.
At the end of the day, I need to have my money. Like, where is my security at the end of the day? You see,
okay. I think...
Thank you.
Thank you very much. If when it's in the, because you've asked about marriage, but before marriage, no, I will not share my money. We have not yet. We are the partnership.
No, but it's a conversation that you need to have. Like, if you're planning on getting married to this person, say, would you be comfortable with us having a joint account, like having in the ideal,
The thought is giving me goosebumps.
And I'm willing to take that chance of finding the account empty and not knowing where the human being has gone.
And then
to.
both of you are like,
yeah, you are
flat, you have to start
someone has
zero.
played you and run away with the cash. But I think so long as you're married, when you think about it, why would you marry someone you cannot trust with money? And if someone feared to share with me their money, as in there, I'll just be like, I'm not trusted, or they're really selfish. But then how do you?
So for me, here is my thinking. Yeah, I don't have I understand where that story came from about sharing the account and stuff like that. You save a lot of money and stuff like that. But also, yes. History has taught us many things that you cannot trust.
I don't want to be like the friends they learned and forgot nothing.
You can't trust people. The other day I was at a friend's bridal shower, and they were talking about, they were giving her advice, ranging from different things, including money. Yeah, and one of the things that everyone agreed on is that fine, you guys can, declare your salaries. This is how much I earn. This is how much I earn, and find a way of planning for it and stuff like that. Yeah, but you can't trust niggas. Have your side thing, because that guy is going to get broke, and you'll be the one to save both of you. And
I think that is where the issue comes in. We keep talking about, okay, this is such a trivial conversation, the one about money and relationships. But I think and for me, I'm the one of the 10K. and previously, just talking about money for me would scare me. As in, I'm like, how dare you expect me? How dare you expect me to also bring money to the table? I'm a woman. It's your job. But I've been educated, and I have kind of beaten my stance on this thing. And I think it's that when you're married, you have decided to build something together. I don't get why you should have separate accounts, why you should live man, I think that guy is going to play me, let me have my car, my car, something. But it's not it just shows a reflection of the state of your relationship. Okay, apart from the fact that there are trust issues for a lot of people, yeah? But for me, I feel like it's also important for me to have some level of financial independence. I can't tell you. I think if you want independence, you shouldn't be married. Where is the financial independence and marriage? There needs to be some level. I'm just saying some level. Having a joint account as the Kemigishas, I'm assuming that this partner of mine will take my name. Sorry, I'm joking. But anyway, can't we have a joint account as a partnership, as a married couple? And then I have something of my own on the side. I don't know. It's not that I don't trust. Okay, maybe I've experienced it before. Maybe I haven't. I'm not going to confess like Yvonne, the 10K. But I feel like I really need to have money of my own that I can use for stuff that I want to do on my own that my partner may not be interested in. But also, honestly, as much as we avoid it, a lot of women do not trust that men, especially men that they are dating or that they are in marriages with. So at the end of the day, you learn your lesson and agree that I love you. I want to spend the rest of my life with you, or spend a very beautiful or big part of my life with you. But this is our money. This is my money. Yeah. I think the issue isn't that not something that I can work with? Me, what I fear is leaving things to chance. I can't leave things to chance. If we don't want to leave things to chance, I think the thing is that notice the character trait of do people have good work ethic? You can't know people, and I can't gamble with my little hard-earned cash. Do you get me? No, I'm sweating for my money. So why am I gambling with it? I think you don't gamble. Choose someone who has good work ethic, if they can be found. I guess the idea is to talk to someone who is in who has been through all these processes and is now married. It's interesting to find out at what point do you start talking about them this? To yours. Anyway, I think let's hear from someone who's experienced it before to just share basically what has happened without us just daydreaming. Theory. You're stressed. You look like you're sweating. The idea of sharing your money. Just talking about it is giving me shivers. What do you mean? My little money. We are here at Olive's Restaurant and Bar in Naguru, opposite the surgery, which is our new home.
Come through, visit this beautiful place for great pizza and really nice whiskey.
I think it's very important because I'm giving pretty much my entire self. So we might as well talk about everything else.
All right. We also talked about the graduation in the relationship, the progression in the relationship. There's always that time when maybe you're being wooed and you've not yet decided, especially for the girls. And then you get to the point when you've allowed. Now, yes, I want to go out with you.
Let me take this chance.
Yeah, I want to be
see where it
exclusive
goes.
with you. And then when you get married. So along those different points in the relationship, would you say that at what point, would you say that you should have this conversation? At the start or as when you're getting married?
Well, I think you can't fake certain stuff. You have to let a natural progression, like you said, happen. And but what I would say, and probably my advice for many young girls, is that don't play wife until you're wife. Yeah. So if you're wooing me, you're trying to get me.
I'm laughing because
you played wife.
I'm so sorry, Elizabeth. I'm laughing because a friend of mine told me a story before of a young lady who was as if dating this young man, and whenever she would go to their place, people would come to like chill and she would be sweeping. She never ever sat to like have drinks with people. She's sweeping, she's cleaning. And my friend shared, I'm worried. Why is she cleaning? Why is she? But anyway, continue. We shall have that later.
Like, to be honest, the time my husband was dating me, by the time we got married, he didn't think I could cook or wash plates. Like, I would visit him and sit. And he would burn food and I would just watch. And if it burns, I said, no, I won't eat. I'll eat another. Then he would order food. I would not wash, like the plates would be there. Even if I came in 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, I would wash those plates. Because I was not going to play wife until he put a ring on it. Yeah. So by the time we got married, he didn't know that I could cook. So no, until we get married, I'm not going to for lack of a better word, exercise certain principles of money until you're worth it, or until I'm worth it. So if you as a gentleman is wooing me, you think that I could be the one, and you want to spend money on me, yes, spend the money. So I agree with you on your earlier discussion. Yeah, buy the drinks, whatever. But don't think that means I'm going to get married to you because you're spending money on me.
Okay.
No.
What about the point when you know what people are saying, partners,
well, then that's
boyfriend,
exactly
girlfriend.
That's a natural progression. Then you kind of get into that place where you're in an exclusive relationship. You're not necessarily married, you're in an exclusive relationship. At that point, your money is your money and his money is his money. Yeah. And you're at the place where that discussion that we're having about borrowing, yes, it can happen. But obviously at this time is the best time for you to look at a person and see the kind of person they are when it comes to money. Are they the ones that are always borrowing before the end of the month? Then you're going to have trouble in your marriage. Are they the ones that always have a surplus? Then you're going to have a surplus of money. Are they the ones that are always investing? Then you're going to have an investor at your hand. Are they the ones who are always starting a new business? Like every time you see him, it's like, man, I was thinking, let's start this business. So I've borrowed money from Frank. I borrowed money from, this business is going to work. Today he's in mobile phones, tomorrow I don't know if he's in some. Then that's what's going to happen when you are married. Don't think you're going to change them because he's been like that, 30 years. You're not going to change him just because you've gotten married. So that time when you're in that exclusive relationship is a time for you to see your future. Yeah, see what's going to happen when you get married. However, when you get married, yeah, it means you've come from that place where you've watched someone and said, okay, he looks like someone that I can work with. He likes opening businesses all the time, yeah? So this. By the time you enter a marriage, he's going to do that, okay? So now you're going to actually share. You've become one.
Share?
Yeah.
Heavy
You've
breathing. Heavy breathing, because no, sharing scares me mostly because I have learned over time that you can never learn people.
Yeah.
And earlier I was telling Yvonne and Pacha that I'm very uncomfortable with having one joint account. Manuela and Mr. Mulondo, they are now together, so they have one joint account. But also, Pacha earlier made reference to a thread that was written by one of our friends of a mentorship, Boundless, a mentorship program for young people, who had a thread about a person that they met, and they shared that in the Indian community, you find that there are like 5 people that are part of a joint account, a wife, an in-law. And mostly what I picked from there is joint accountability. Is that by the time I withdraw 2 mil for a Friday and on Monday it's done and I have nothing to show for it, then I'd have to explain to my other partners on the account what is happening, what did I use the money for. It made sense that way. But I don't know if I'm comfortable with meeting Mr. Man X. We are in love, we've dated for a while, and then we have to share all our finances. What I really want to think would work for me, or what I know for a fact would work for me, is us agreeing that we have this joint pool. We are trying to build a house together, so let's do this. We are agreeing that the house is going to be in the names of A, B, C, and D. I insist that at the end of the day, I should have, however little it is on the side, that I have on my own. Elizabeth came with Shah's accounts. Because you can never know what would happen. But also because a lot of women over time, we've seen them suffer at the hands of very many men financially, men that they've invested with for a very long time. A man dies and he's left nothing for this chick.
Yeah, that's
and then
true.
you're suffering, and then, so me, it's really been a process of learning. And it's not that I'm selfish, it's not that I don't trust my partner, but can we just not take chances?
But that's something that you do together. So you see that the problem with saying maybe the word sharing is then you kind of distance yourself from what it means to share. There's principles of money. The first thing you need to do is budget. Like, who doesn't know that? Yeah. So you have your monthly budget. You have your monthly income that comes in. You put it in, for lack of a better word, a pool. You take 10% off. I'm Christian, so 10% off goes to our tithe. Another 10% of the joint goes to saving. Another 10% goes to investment. Now, these are accounts which none of us can reach unless both of us have signed. Does that make sense?
Okay, so you do joint accounts.
So
So
you have
we have a joint account. We have, for lack of a better word, many joint accounts. Yeah.
Okay.
But this is what happens. So we have this joint account. 10% again, I've said, goes to tithe. The other one, another 10% goes to saving. Another 10% goes to investment. Another 10% goes to our children. Okay, so the remaining 60 is for your actual spending. Of that 60, I get money, Brian gets money to use how we feel
It's comfortable for each one of you.
The other joint, the remaining one, is what then we use for the month. Now, if God forbid something ever happens to Brian and I in the future, there is money that we've been putting aside. By the time we go to the courts of law, I actually have 50% and he has 50%.
Okay, so
You understand? It's not you now fighting for his money if anything
Or him
happened,
fighting for your money.
I also feel like where we've come from, sente zange, his money is our money, has come from a place, you're right, from our history with our mothers. They're fighting over land and whatever.
Money that things they actually contributed to.
Exactly. But then now we've grown, and not grown, that's not the right word. The world has changed. We've evolved. And now women are more aware. They're signing contracts. The laws have changed. Policy has changed. Women can now earn, can get back what they have worked for. Our grandmothers, now your mothers, are not going to come fighting over your land. They're grandmothers of those days. You click. But now I don't see Brian's mom coming to tell, do you understand what I mean? Because also how she's evolved. She's gone through fighting for land and money with her husband. She's not going to do that for Brian. And then now she knows their children. So we've evolved as a society to a point that now that's no longer a fear. We've learned to protect ourselves. When you're writing your bank details, you're signing for land, you sign as Mulondo Brian and Manuela Pachuto. Those are two
different individuals. I like that. I like that.
You
I'm more
understand what I
comfortable
mean?
with
so
that.
there's a togetherness in individuality. Yeah, you get what I mean?
Yeah,
so
I really
you're still
love the words
able
that
you're still able to use the principles, like I'm Christian. You're still able to use the principles of Christianity and money and sharing. Brian is the head of our home. He's a shepherd. He's a priest. He determines where money goes. So if we put 10% for investment for a long period of time, when the money comes out, he'll say, so this money we are going to do for this. And usually because we've put the money together, it's not going to be, this money for investment we are going to invest in my business. No, it's usually something that is for both of us or for our children. But that's by virtue of the fact that he knows I bring in my portion of the money, and he brings in his portion.
Brian, don't ashame your wife wherever you are. See the beautiful things she's saying about you.
Question. Okay, so that kind of makes sense, except what happens when Manuela brings a lot more than Brian? But Brian, at the month, is getting the same amount of like allowance,
but is not bringing to the pool as much as you are.
Yeah, and I'm going to ask you a question. What happens when Brian brings a lot more than Manuela, and yet we still have to earn the same money?
Brian is the man.
You had that luxury, for lack of a better word, earlier while you were dating. You had that luxury when you came to this, actually before you were dating. You had that luxury where he was spending on you.
You're perfect.
Then you come to the place where you're in an exclusive relationship. That's why I said you need to watch. Yeah, you need to really, really watch at that time the kind of person that you have. So you watch at that time and say, okay, fine, this is the man that I will. Yeah, I'll go with the way he handles money. I'm happy with, because when you enter the marriage relationship and the institute of marriage, again, he is the shepherd. He's the one who knows how to who will advise on how to spend the money. Yeah, Simba wakatia although he's the one who knows how to spend the money, but he can also delegate that responsibility.
But
he's not the only one who knows. Anyway, maybe because
that's why I said Simba wakati. Okay. He can also delegate that responsibility. So this is what Brian and I did. In the first year of our marriage, Brian handled the money. How much did we have at the end of the investment? How much did we have at the end of saving? Good. Second year, I handled money. We compared. How much did we have at the end of... By third year, we knew.
I want to know who was the better investor. I think Elizabeth was. I believe. I don't know, but I know that Elizabeth
Women have a reputation.
Men. So guys, the only thing that men are good at is money and lies. Money and lies.
The men you've met.
They know how. There are many that I've seen.
How to chop money.
They know how to chop money and chop lies. But let's go on, Elizabeth.
And chop lips. So by the third year, we knew who is. But then we didn't stop at that. We said, okay, fine, we know you're a better financial manager, but we still continued to trade. Yeah, so he's helping me, I'm helping him as we grow in building our wealth. Yeah, because also for him, while he's the head and the shepherd of the home and can delegate the responsibility of money to me, I also have the privilege of being a woman. And the Proverbs 31 woman. Okay, so you see land, you buy it. You know, she's like the business-oriented person. She's the one that's bringing in the money. He also knows that. So because of that, we can't be in that place where, oh, you're the head, so I'm going to sit home, drink a cup of coffee, call my friends, shop and dine, you know. So it's a thing that you have to do together. You can't do it on your can't do it on your own. He can't do it on his own.
I don't know, Yvonne. Sorry, I've interrupted. You have so much to say in such a short time, but one, I don't know. Of course, that's your own wording, and I don't want to take that away from you. But when you say that this partner of yours, and Brian has overfeatured, but what to do? He's your partner. He's your husband. So this person, Brian, he's your experience, and then we are privileged to have you here with your very diverse experience. When you speak of the fact that he's the shepherd of the home, I'm a bit tickled because since we are talking about togetherness, individuality in togetherness, I'm a bit uncomfortable, but that could take a whole day for us to just break down.
Another topic.
Now I want to ask, how do you lend your partner money? Do you lend Brian money?
No, I don't.
Does
I can't
he lend you
him
money?
He can't lend me money because, again, money went off to certain places. We had joint money. He took a certain portion. I took a certain portion. We had a joint. So unless you're saying Brian is asking me for this money, even him, he knows he can't ask for it. You understand? Because he knows
I hope my partners in future no, don't ask me for money.
At the end of the month, we both went away with 500,000 for personal money.
You,
So he can't
so
come
why
to
are you
ask me
coming?
for
About
a 500K. Yes.
So this means you declare all your money.
Monies.
What about the gigs? If you have gigs, there's those bumanies, those bumanies which just come.
Eziruma,
As in,
sente zebele, sente za mchala.
it just comes.
Yeah.
Like it's maybe it's quite little. You cannot like declare it. Okay, it's
Even
very.
if it's much,
Yeah,
do
but
you
then
ever
there are those
declare
side.
give money?
What happens?
So this is a principle that I've told many of my girlfriends. Start declaring it. He'll get bored. So Brian got bored. He's like, Kati, now you've told me you got 50, can't you? It helps me how? Can't do career. You understand what I mean? So whenever I go like I've gone to somewhere and I've been speaking and then I get money. When I come back, I say, they gave me money. He's like, what are you going to do with it? That's how it goes. But it's because he saw that I trusted him enough to declare the money that I have. Again, in that point where you're courting, know the person you have. Yeah, you can know a thief such that when you get your
I really want to
200K
send a shout out to that 10K guy. It's not even about it just being 10K. I just want to send a shout out to you. Honestly.
So that place of courtship is very, very, very important because then at the point of marriage, you know your person. You get what I mean? You know your person and you can work with it. Now, the good thing for me is I've had a good person with money. If you have a person who's an overspender, at the point when you're removing money, you have 20% for saving because you know your muntu wange doesn't save. So let us put 20% as opposed to 10% away. If your person is a person who likes investing in businesses, you now know at the point of marriage, when you're putting away money for investment, you put 30%. Knowing your person such that when he wants to invest in another business, you have where you're getting money from. He's not stealing from you. He's not borrowing from you. This is joint money. You understand what I mean? But remember, at that point of that money which you've put together, you've saved money, you've put money for the children, you've put money for investment. When it comes out, this has to be for the both of you or for your children.
So, Manuela, let's take advantage of the fact that you're here to ask what are those 3 things that, in your experience, it could be different for any other woman out there. Your experience has been, what are those 3 things that you think, I'm more interested in women's well-being, so let me just go the women way. What are those 3 important things that you think women should take note of as regards finances in relationships at whatever different stages of relationships they are in with these partners?
I would very easily say wisdom, knowledge, and planning. You need those 3. You need to know how to spend money, how to make your money multiply, how to grow wealth. That's the Proverbs 31 woman. So you've got to research and find out and ask people who are rich, if you are rich people, ask them, how do you make money? How do you
tell you lies.
How
That's
do you
the
save
thing.
me?
You sold the airtime.
You sold the
airtime.
Anyway,
so that one is also a whole discussion of its own. So big on knowledge. Read books about money because you see what happens with your family. While your husband is the head of the home, you're his helper. So you're his voice of knowledge. Then in terms of wisdom, you need wisdom. There are certain things which are not about knowledge. You just know. You have that sixth sense. And for me, that one is about praying for. Like Solomon. God, give me wisdom that this investment that we want to go into is a good one or it's not. Help me give my husband the right advice at the right time for whatever thing we're going to do with our money. Yeah, so it's wisdom. The third one is planning. If you don't plan, if you don't budget, if you don't think about it, if you don't talk about it, if you don't write it down, it will never come to pass. So for me, those are the 3 things that I would advise for any woman.
Thank you so much, Manuela. Some of the questions I had have been answered. I think I need 1 more hour with you, but I think you've covered so much. Your experience is so enlightening.
Thank you.
You sharing it is, we're so privileged, and I think very many people are going to benefit from this.
Thank you.
So thank you very much.
Thank you for having me.